homophobia isn't just people getting beaten up and people getting kicked out by their parents. It's not these wild extremes of the worst things that can happen to you as a gay person. Fear and uncertainty that all queer people have ingrained in us. My name is Slay Guevara, I'm 20 years old, I live in Dundee and I'm a drag queen. So I had been obsessed with drag since I would say maybe 13, 14 years old. I was off sick from school, my mum let me watch Priscilla Queen of the Desert, and after that it was all over. All I wanted to do was consume media about drag, watch things about queens, like I'd play about with drag makeup in my bedroom. Breaking the norm of kind of being a woman and doing drag. I am quite an effeminate person, but the way that gender expression is treated is that men can wear skirts and dresses or trousers or whatever, and it's still all, they're expressing their gender, whereas when women express themselves via femininity, it's seen more as meeting the default than it is, expressing yourself. Honestly, it's pretty good. People seem very nonplussed by it, and I'm incredibly lucky that I can outwardly refer to my girlfriend just in conversation with strangers and not get funny looks and not have people be judgy more often than not. But also you end up with this sort of very strong nose for when someone's not liking it or when someone can tell that you're queer when you say girlfriend instead of partner, and then the taxi driver kind of goes quiet and you're like, oh God, is this one that hates me? Am I gonna die? Which is always complete melodrama, but a lot of the time if you don't look like a caricature of a lesbian, people kind of don't pay attention to it. So I had the first kind of vague inclinations that I might not be straight when I think I was like 12, 13, and it was your very standard, everyone else is boy daft at the moment, but I just don't see the appeal. I don't get them. They're my friends. I don't want, to do any of the anything. Ugh. So I came out of school, I think probably within a year of realising that I was gay. I was on Duke of Edinburgh, I was in a tent, someone else had just come out, so I decided to kind of piggyback off that moment and was like, surprise, lesbian, and they were all like, yeah, Edie, we know, we've known for a while. And then by the time I got back to school on Monday, every single person in the building knew, because that's just how it works. And I think that people were shits about it in the way that people very often are shits about it with people coming out. People would shout stuff at me in hallways, and I had people would just say stuff that was like nasty. One that I think hurt the most was that I had a former friend basically one day turn to me and tell me, I think you're lying about being gay for attention. That hurt more than anything else, because she was one of the first people that I told, and I trusted her with it essentially. And I think once I'd come out and once I'd owned it and once I was able to say, yeah, I am a dyke, so what? That doesn't hurt. It got infinitely easier to deal with the kind of boring attempts at bullying that I got from people, so yeah. I've had the most surreal experience of my life in a nightclub. It was in a gay club where it was myself, another drag queen who's a cis man, my girlfriend, the three of us in drag. And there's this woman who's quite obviously one of these, middle-aged straight women on safari that you get in gay clubs, and she was standing talking to this queen going, oh my God, you're beautiful, I love your makeup, how long did it take you to do that, can you teach me how to do that, oh I love your hair, and then turns to myself and my girlfriend and starts mouthing off at us about, you shouldn't be in here, this is the women's bathroom, grabs me by the back of my wig, which by the way, I don't know if you've ever encountered how drag queens put wigs on. There's duct tape involved, there's 27 pins in here. It's on my head, and starts going, oh, it's not meant to be offensive, I'm not trying to offend you, I'm just trying to keep myself safe. I don't know what you've got going on down there. And I'm like, well, it's not any of your business. And to be perfectly honest, I feel unsafe that you want to know in depth about my genitals. So when people kind of bring out this whole thing of Scotland is the best place in the world for LGBT rights and we love the gays and blah blah, no. You know, we still have like the tabloid press who like to shit on us at every given opportunity. We still have people that think it's okay to shout stuff in the street. We still have people coming into gay bars with no intention other than making life a little bit worse for the people that are there because it's the only place that they feel safe. And it's one of these things that I think we can't get rid of homophobia until we've got a way of people getting a meaningful understanding of what being gay is. After I've been doing this for 6 years, I'm a pessimistic arsehole at this point, so I want to say things will get better, but yeah, no, at the moment, Scotland is by no means this like safe haven. We're just a little bit less rubbish than everyone else. Homophobia isn't just people getting beaten up and people getting kicked out by their parents. It's not these wild extremes of the worst things that can happen to you as a gay person. It's all the kind of microaggressive stuff. It's, you know, that, like, it was me when I was 12 when people would get grossed out by me changing in the same room as them because they thought that I was gay, which they were right about, but that's neither here nor there at this point. It's feeling scared to use the word girlfriend to refer to my partner when I'm meeting a stranger. It's worried about, it's not being able to get on public transport looking like this because I'm scared for my safety. Fear and uncertainty that all queer people have ingrained in us at this point because of the stuff that we've experienced growing up and we've read about happening to us, and you know, it's not gonna be totally fixed until people realise that that stuff's wrong, and you can't really reach folk unless they're willing to be reached. You're gonna find your tribe eventually, you're gonna find people that love you, people that understand you, and it's gonna be pretty great. So if you can ride this out and don't waste so much energy trying to change the minds of folk that didn't like you when there's plenty of people that love you and appreciate you for who you are.